like 12 years ago, I started exploring the movement of the wind because previously I was exploring the invisible forces like gravity, electricity, or wind, where you see the energies through something else, but not as it is. Like when the stone is falling, we know the gravity exists. Otherwise, it is like until somebody find the apple falling down because of something else. After moving to the village, almost everything looked like the natural forces are constantly moving, whether it is a cloud in the sky or the water in the ground or the wind in the space, they constantly keep moving, without any restriction, and they have their own flow. I mean, the water, you don't have to teach a water how to flow. Anybody put water in a certain place, they just try to find the path. The sky view of the river, if you see it, they just keep finding, and if there is an obstacle, they just stay. But if the water level raises, they just find and then go. Or go down. Or go down. So that kind of thing made me think, instead of working about nature, would be interesting to working with nature. Where I am involved in the process, but as an artist, there is an urge to get what I want. So when you do that, even though they look random, but if you remove and try to match it manually, it won't work the same way. Because it's like dunes in the desert, but in a very small level, of just making that formation. And so then I painted it. I started working on the earth as a medium in some of the earlier works, like a landscape out of how the natural boundaries of the landscape is defined by the nature. Like, my property, the outline is defined because of the river and the canal.
Yeah.
So the soil from there I was using to make the same shape of the landscape. And then it just moved to the next step of whenever I see the earth drying and cracking.
Yeah.
Like how that formation, we don't have to tell, how to form. Similarly, the crack, it happens such a slow manner that, you literally, if you sit for 2-3 hours, you can easily see
the cracks.
The crack, find the line, to go where to do, what to do. But the source is from outside. You see while walking, but this is happening. Exploration to gravity, like it's all intervened. When I say that is Earth, but it's not just the Earth. The air has to make it dry. The heat has to activate the And similarly, this is I just droplets and then watch the droplet how it just flows. Millions and millions of bars. So what you're seeing, that's why it's very similar to the yellow one. When you do it, they kind of make your eye like going like that, because there are like this area must be not just one drop. There may be like 20-30 drops where this is the actual color. Maybe this may be the single drop. One of these lightest ones.
Yeah.
So you don't even see as a color. You'll just see like just one stain on it. But when you keep doing it for months, then slowly they just. And it's nice to observe, like how the rain falls or the snow falls. Similarly, they just find a way, and then sometimes they just join and then go. This line may be coming like this. Then the two line meets and form another line, and then, quickly. This is indigo, and also I used ink because the indigo, pure indigo will look differently. But I wanted to experiment with pigments and ink and indigo together. So instead of thinking about a subject, what I did that I took a canvas where the structure is like rectangle with one wooden piece in the middle, and the canvas is hiding all the time. It's like wearing a cloth. The canvas hides the structure, and the structure is actually very much part of the work which is behind. So I wanted to do more like a self-portrait or self-reflection of the work itself. So I took a canvas and then poured the liquid. Because of the heaviness, they drag they go down. So that wooden one, which is restricting, is making the division, and because of the gravity, the liquid goes there. Again, with the time, every day there may be just line up this, then second and third and fourth, and it's interesting. Sometimes when it is so sunny, then you get a big wide gap
because more dry.
It's more dry, because the ambience, this is not really like in the sunlight. This and the inside the room has to get so much warmer in order to make them dry, and maybe the other days, will be cloudy. So it's like a recording time and getting the self-portrait of the canvas. So as an artist, it's quite interesting that how you just witness how the work happens, and you're part of it, not like you're doing it. I mean, it's almost like work itself is a source and work itself is a finish. And then the blue one. So here you'll see this white, and then the folds are the canvas fold which I created, and then use the color pigments to dry it up. So these are I made it. Then there is always the question. Now this becomes the form is derived by me. So then in that work, I try to do the form of the canvas itself. Then the third one, which I explored in such a way that it's actually not restricted by the frame, but it goes out also. So this is more like you will see the similar evaporation process, but not as a form or not in full size, but it also just bleed on all sides. So it's all again the similar process of evaporate, pigments, and heat. Yeah, because water knows how to be 180 degree. Whatever the shape, whatever the form, whatever it is, when you pour water, it knows how to be level. So I keep canvas in any fold, but the pigment knows that this is how I should stay. And then you just wonder, wow, it's amazing that a little piece of thread with a little stone will make us see what is 90 degree, and then water will make us to see 180 degree. So yeah, these are this ones. Then see, it's all about, I think, that life is not like a physical moving person or animal or plants, but generally the life, whether it is a growth of a stone, or the stone becoming a soil, or the tree becoming something, or the snail keep growing, or human body, the growth has that constant, what do you call it? And the layers, I mean, it's almost like this is the space between my feet. So that is the space between my two foot. Because I always feel, I used to tell my wife when I was before marriage, and I was while dating, I would just keep looking at her fingers. And she asked, why are you staring at my finger? Because she was thinking, her fingers has a lot of folds, like, my finger, because the more and more we work, or the more and more the action happens, then I always wonder, say, if you fold the hand, the lines must be when we were in the womb itself, these lines are formed because we must be folding in a certain way. Or, so these lines are the lines in the foot. Or, even, how much ever we try, the similar thing we can find, but not the same, not two leaf alike, not two eyes alike, not two thumb impressions alike. So it's amazing that how we are so unique, so the body exploration always continues. That was the earlier work why I did those thumb impression or hand impressions or whatever. So this is the next step of body. As a foot, I just explored. And that is the hand. See, these are the space of the fingers.
Yeah.
And then this one is like this.
Like that, yeah.
Zinc. And this plate is actually very similar to the self-portrait of the canvas. Usually, as a person who makes prints, they look for a very nice clean plate. Then they sand it and varnish it and then do the work. So these works are done that way. Then I was looking at one plate which is oxidized and whatever. Then I started just rolling it down and again put it in the acid, taking it again, rolling the ground and putting it in the acid. So whatever the marks were there in the plate naturally by the oxidization, I just enhanced it and then took a print. I just wanted to carve out more and really have the endless shape of the shell. So you see, sometimes you see the plants growing in the little gap in the rock.
Of course, yeah.
And then they just kind of slowly grow and break the rock. They survive with that little water or whatever is there. So that was always in the mind, but I don't know how to bring it in the work. So I just tried in such a way that where there is a constant growth, but at the same time breaking something and coming out. And this is the latest one. So I can see this will take a little further, but this is the new
way.
Yeah. These are paintings when the works are happening on its own. I have to do something. So these are all the landscape from my the views of the sky.